Is there virtue in rebellion? Let us propose this question to the greatest rebel of history. He who had great political ambition. He who sought to end the unjust oppression of his people. He who believed that his program would end suffering in his country. He who led the most successful rebellion in history. He who dipped his hand in the same dish as Christ. On the evening of the Last Supper, the man of rebellion, Judas, and the man of virtue, Christ, each had a choice to make. Judas to betray his best friend and kill God, Jesus to surrender himself and sacrifice his life. So on this night, there was a rebellion, a terrible rebellion. We rebelled against God. We killed him. We crucified him. He came to us to love us, to heal us, to feed us, to save us from all of our suffering, to answer that age-old question, if there is a God, then why is there so much suffering? Our response to his love might have been love in return. But instead, we refused to let go of our pride. We said, I will not bow. We refused to allow him to end the suffering. Instead, we inflicted upon him the most inhumane suffering we could possibly dream of. And out of pure love, he opened not his mouth and accepted every blow. He poured out every drop. If there is a God, then why is there so much suffering? Just like Adam in the garden, we create suffering, we create death, then we blame God for it, when he clearly instructed us by his own example to work for mercy, to grow in virtue. Instead, we lace up our boots and start marching for our own ambition. That's called rebellion. So if you reject Christianity, do not reject it because there is no God, because, as we have said, you have no evidence of that. Do not reject it because there is suffering, because we have proposed the only logical response to that. Do not reject it because of your political ambition, because, as we have demonstrated, that is a cycle of failure. Reject it for these reasons, because feeding the poor, visiting the sick or imprisoned is too dirty for you, or growing in virtue is too hard for you, or sacrificing your life is a price too high for you. These are the only logical reasons for rebellion. I offer this series as an invitation to you to lower your fists. Instead, work for mercy, grow in virtue, trust God to save us. That's called faith. God bless.